weather like the day that
It was cold and snowy.
but the lot had failed.
Yes.
And what was it clear?
It was clear with snow.
How was that?
With a motor.
Ice melt applied to the lot?
Yes.
Now let's talk a little bit about confronting your
Picture in front, picture behind.
number 4.
Gotcha.
Looking at that photograph, this is the photo that was taken during the deposition. Correct?
Yeah, yes.
As you look at that picture, these buildings now,
That is ours.
and these buildings now,
That's the Roy Nagel or whoever environment. Yeah, 14, it has a yellow sticker in the bottom.
yeah, there's only one photograph. I just want to make sure it's not so slow. I just need one photo. Okay, so looking at that photo, building to the right,
Building to the right is Roy Nagel or whatever.
now that, those two buildings, in between them, there's that park, correct?
Correct.
Is sales over that entire park?
No.
Can you identify on that photograph? There's property. Here's the person where you go to the property.
I can. It's kind of hard in the black and white, but I can tell you by the seat of the asphalt where our stop is.
Okay. And out. Could you describe to the jury where that property line is?
I can never do it.
Different photographs from the different depositions we're talking about. Can you see that? On this photograph, can you identify the
It's marked with the yellow line. Heated.
So,
Yes.
who owns
Sieb said
this? Who owns?
that we the Roy Nagel or whatever.
Now, at the time this hotel was here, business operating out of this.
Yes.
You know the individual said that.
Yes. Those generators.
In work here today.
Yes.
Now, when sales here out on the day of the fall, did they do that before this fall time?
Yeah.
Approximately what time?
This done throughout the day.
And what portions of the complete area between was cleared of snow?
We run the loader straight to the back on that line.
Was there snow removed? Why not?
It wasn't our way.
This ice snow on the parking lot.
On our side.
This side of the other one? Is there a nice snow on this side? No. Why not?
It wasn't our way.
Now, in looking at the photograph, what exhibit, what photo presented, you had made some indications, and I know it's a bad copy, but that's what you have. You had made some red comments. That
I see it.
Now, during the deposition, you identified that there was a dumpster close by the building owned by LakeCo, correct?
Correct.
And who placed that dumpster?
We did.
Was that for your sales?
No, we were sharing kitchen.
And it in the building
Yes.
or for leasing?
Correct.
What was that?
It was just a verbal agreement that we had. He didn't have garbage takeout. And we, talking with the local business owner, we just shared the dumpster together because we didn't have that much garbage.
Now, on exhibit 14, indicate which box it was that represents the dumpster.
It's the red box that's up against the building.
I did not.
It's this box.
That dumpster was there on the gate only delivery, correct?
Correct.
Now, the other truck, what is that from?
Truck.
Whose truck?
The truck in Baldwin.
Do you remember where the Baldwin truck was parked when they arrived?
Yes, they did.
And where was that?
It was parked up with the front fender, the front of the truck, up against the edge of the dumpster where you could walk through it.
But they parked. What side? Whose property? Right beside that people on
Our property.
and whose side is the passenger? Whose property is the passenger?
The other building truck.
Why was that yellow line put there?
So we could identify what was ours and what was theirs.
That was done after the flood? Correct.
Correct.
That was done after Roy Nagel was the lease ended?
Correct.
Roy Nagel upset with you then?
A little bit. He was angry. Yes, he did.
They would be that right there after the place was amended again?
Sure did.
Why was that?
He didn't want to go through any more issues.
I want to get that date of the fall. There was the fence. You asked a question about this photograph, correct? You asked about this fence. That's right here, correct? So you put that back, that's it.
Yes, we did.
What is that?
We had an agreement with the owner's brother, the previous owner, for security purposes, just to draw the fence all the way across the road to get the back.
And do you remember who said that to you?
But this was the brother.
Fire,
Yes.
fire owner?
Fire owner.
Is that in,
No, he liked it.
by using that fence?
Yes.
Dumpster, is that what the agreement was just correct?
Yes.
Did you ever express any objection?
No.
That I, Mr. Nagel understand, is that I? Now, please spell out. Fence? Correct?
Correct. We knew that that's what it was.
That was after 2018.
Correct.
You identified this vehicle. Correct? You identified this kind of focus.
Yes.
So, you know what this is.
No.
You have any idea why you parked there?
I see one of the guys in the front of the moving equipment.
Is it 80 years?
Yes.
What is that? What is that? I'm going to object to that.
Can you rephrase the same question?
Yeah. What is the location of this building?
I was cars behind the side of the building, and we had a new lot where we moved some skids out of the property.
Is that something?
We moved skids back and forth, so the cars would have to move, so we could go grab some skids and then
Then on to a fourth one. Say that.
Yeah. So those little boxes.
So that
We target a little bit wrong.
why is it how many deliveries do you think have been made? Vehicles larger than the they make those now, you didn't see the close, but will be there at weird now would you still on the ground?
She sold out everybody. Yes, she did. So she is in our facility. She was going
You observe?
Yes. brother, and another employee, Joe.
Before this lawsuit, right? Did you ever yell at customers at this property? Move off this area?
No.
Before this lawsuit, did you ever yell at you asked me questions when you were asking about if you were involved. Remember that question? Those questions? Remember those questions? Remember those questions? If you were miserable, you would back in front of if you were miserable, you would accept the offer.
Yeah.
Why is that?
On a trip. All the boxes on the course and hold it up.
Go back. You were asking a series of questions. Like, you asked me about how to come out. Is that right? Remember that?
Yes.
Did that occur before or after? Did that occur before or after this meeting? After. Did that ever issue before this meeting?
No.
First of all, before the you knew there was and as far as to date, now, is there any key markings made on the property?
No. Correct. Before these. Before these.
Before the yellow line is on, the yellow line and page.
No.
Now, you had indicated earlier that you employees walked to the dump.
Correct.
You had also indicated that there was the market. Whenever the snow is cleared, you know what they had the marker on the property.
Our employees also have their own vehicle for them. Keep about kind of in the building, and it's also kind of nice and fenced in. They can all get the snow straight back.
So they have to visually look down and see that sprinkle happen.
Yeah, they do something something as well.
They ever use the dump?
Yeah.
So when you said earlier, a loader, is that a bobcat?
That's a little case. 45.
Did you have, when the Baldwin parked their truck up before the incident, did you ever tell them that the truck parked partially on the property?
No. bit. Yes.
That this trailer would have
From the, you can't see the picture, but there's a semi-well from the back up of the building. It goes over a little bit.
it actually with cars come along this building, that also costs
Nobody ever really parked over there except Jimmy or stuff.
so it's up against this building. Nobody has a park.
No.
You know what?
Jimmy didn't have that traffic.
As I understand it, you know, Mr. Rez operate his own business. How does that work?
No idea.
What say auto restoration in that location or Mr. Rez?
They were there at the same time.
Okay. No relationship.
I really don't.
When you were there, there came a point that BJ Auto Restoration that Bob left the building someplace else, and Jim rented their office.
Sure.
All right. Sometime this week, now, when it was BJ Auto Restoration, that was owned by Bob. When it was operated by Bob, Bob had a I know you had a question earlier that you never yelled at anyone who operated out of this building. Did you ever have any discussions with Mr. Nagel or Mr. Ress or with regard to, hey, customers park in this area, you want to park
Yeah, that's about only one of those cars that park on our lot. People would always, they thought the building, parking lot was communal, and they would park on our side.
Where was the parking this
I really don't know. That's a mystery for that building.
Have you ever seen the front of this building?
There's the front of it, but unfortunately you have to walk all the way around the backup well to get the front of the building.
Is this the only door?
For that portion of that subdivided building, yes.
And there's not an overhead door on the other side?
There is an overhead door,
There is.
but not a man door.
Not, but there is an overhead.
Yes.
So if customers bringing in a car, they can go in that overhead door?
Yes.
Is there parking spots out front of the building?
I guess you could say so.
No. But this, you would say, it was never an issue, that was never the parking area.
No.
Okay. Now, you mentioned that this vehicle, which you think is yours, the vehicle behind it that belongs to somebody else who goes to the city, those were moved because this forklift was doing something.
Right?
Is there any reason why those vehicles go into one of these spots?
My guys pull them out. They have to pull them there.
Okay. But that's not your property, so
At that point, it's on that ingress egress.
this is on the ingress egress?
It's favoring towards their property. It's right on that line. If you were to reference back to the other picture, that line's run back. I can see it. It's straddling.
Okay. I think you mentioned earlier, here. I think you mentioned earlier that when you were plowing, you kind of lined up with the fence post.
Yeah, basically.
When you said majority of your vehicle was on the fence
Yeah.
So when BJ Auto Restoration operated out of the building on the right, do you know how long they operated out of that location?
I don't know.
A couple of years? Sound about right?
Sure.
Okay. Any reason to doubt that?
No.
Alright. Now during that time, was there any time that you also had that dumpster located up next to the building on the right with the auto restoration?
I don't believe so.
Never?
No, I think it moved there until the beginning.
Okay. On the day of this building, did you see anyone come out of the building? Did it appear to you? You were out there as well.
Correct.
And I think you testified, if you want, this is I think exhibit 14 in your book. I think you mentioned that this is their truck, she felt that it was something necessary. Okay. Did you go knock on the door or see if anyone was at the building on the right and tell them, hey, somebody was selling the property?
No.
Ever tell them somebody was selling the property?
Yes, after the incident.
So at the hospital.
Yeah.
How long after the accident?
I don't know. Yes, I don't know.
Now I think in your deposition you testified that the front of this truck was so close to this dumpster that you walked around the truck. Is that accurate?
Correct?
That means that this truck was actually blocked with this handle. Is that correct?
You had enough room to get around there. You had the width of the dumpster to be able to walk between the truck and get around.
Okay. Did you ever mention to Mr. and Mrs. Baldwin, hey, you're blocking access to that property?
No, there's 5 foot to walk between the building and truck.
Okay. Ever mention to them you're not on our land?
No.
Ever tell them, we salted and we shoveled this part of the parking lot, but we haven't done anything over here, so be careful.
No.
Before this incident, or maybe even today, what was your relationship like with Jim Rex?
Good.
You were asked a question a second ago about these metal pieces that kind of looks like a door, or I don't know what else. I'm not a carpenter. I don't know how to frame keys or anything. And you think that that belonged to someone in an unauthorized position?
Yes.
Did anyone from Sieb Sales ever remove those from the building and put it behind the Sieb building?
No.
No?
No.
Just left it there?
Not ours.
Not yours. Okay. Ever complain that that wasn't nice fault?
No.
How many times a day would you say, after that dumpster was moved up against the building on the right, LakeCo building, how many times a day would you say that your employee went out to deliver trash or dump trash again?
Once a week.
Only once a week?
Yeah, we have a lot of garbage cans in the shop, and they would, on garbage day, we clear out the garbage cans in the shop and then dump them in the dumpster.
Okay. Would it surprise you to learn that Joe, I don't know how to say this,
Cantaloupe is. Good. Depends on what garbage we have. Yep.
Because your employees are using that dumpster several times a day, and I understand your testimony earlier was that you guys did not put ice melt or shovel around the dumpster.
No.
Okay. Did you ever give a warning to your employees? Hey, we didn't put any salt out there. We didn't shovel. Be extra careful.
Common knowledge.
Now, at the location where you say Mr. and Mrs. Baldwin parked, could you have asked them to move?
I asked them back up to the door.
Would you have insisted that they move their vehicle?
I could have.
Okay. Could have refused to take the ticket?
I could have refused.
Okay. But just help them unload and let them stay.
Yeah. We want our computer equipment.
Okay. In the time that Mr. Rez was operating as a tenant, so not BJ Auto Restoration, but actually operating as a tenant out of that building, did you ever give him a heads up, hey, we've got delivery?
No.
Okay. Was it your observation that whatever time he actually started operations, that he wouldn't be open every single day?
No, I didn't know Mr. Rose's hours.
You didn't? Okay.
Mm-mm.
And would I be correct that you didn't pay attention to see him every single day?
Mm-mm. I didn't pay attention.
Okay. Would it surprise you to learn that he only operated when he had an appointment?
It wouldn't surprise me.
If it ever appeared to you that perhaps the building on the right was unoccupied during the snow event, meaning they weren't open, would you take any additional steps to clear ice and snow on that location?
No.
You indicated before this incident, or I guess after the incident, but before and after the lawsuit was amended, somebody on behalf of Sieb Sales put in this yellow line.
Yes, when we
Okay.
had a...
And I think you said before that is when the asphalt was applied?
Asphalt was applied quite a few years before the line.
Okay. And who applied the asphalt?
We did it with an agreement with the previous owner to make it look a lot nice. It was just all gravel before.
Okay. So you guys asphalted all the way over?
Yeah, ours was already asphalted, and with Jeff, we asphalted up the building.
You asphalted their property?
Yes, we talked to him first to make sure it was okay.
And you did that so it would look nicer?
Yeah.
Before that yellow line was applied, if the snow is coming down, and I understand you said it was puffballs, patches on your side, and then more accumulation on the other side, was there any way to determine, just if I'm an outsider and I've never been to your property, is there any way for me to look at the property and make a determination as to where your property line ended and Royco's began?
No.
I don't have anything further. Thank you, sir.
Redirect.
Just brief. When I asked you questions on direct examination, you said you never talked to Roy Nagel about the lawsuit, correct?
Correct.
But then when Mr. Moore asked you questions, you said you did have a conversation with Roy Nagel. He was upset. He cursed at you.
That was after the lawsuit.
Well, I asked you whether you had any conversations with Roy Nagel after the lawsuit was filed, and you said no, you didn't.
I didn't hear say after the lawsuit.
So you did have conversations with Roy Nagel after the lawsuit was filed?
Correct.
Okay. And were those conversations with your brother present?
I had one with just Roy and myself.
Okay. Did you have one with your brother present?
I think I did. I don't remember.
Okay. And in that conversation, did you or your brother say to Roy Nagel, somebody fell on our property, we're taking care of it?
No.
Did you ever, either you or your brother, ever say to Roy Nagel, yeah, some fat-ass bitch fell on our property?
No, that's offensive.
Did you ever say to Roy Nagel, or your brother ever say to Roy Nagel, when you talked to him about this lawsuit, some cow fell on our property?
No.
Because you know, do you not, that that is exactly what Roy Nagel has said in this case?
I wasn't here, but
Well,
that's wrong.
he said it in his deposition. You're
He's
aware
allowed
of
to say
that?
what he wants to say.
You're aware that he said it in his deposition?
No, I'm not aware that he said that in his deposition.
You've never read his deposition?
No, I have not.
Okay. Now, if I understand, this icy area was because of water that would thaw and freeze at night, correct?
It was raining and sleeting the night before in the early morning.
And it would go to the low-lying area of the area between the two buildings.
Not necessarily, because there's still water coming out of the gutter that ran to the low-lying area.
Would the water go to the highest point of gravity or the lowest point of gravity?
It would go to the lowest point.
Okay. And the lowest point of gravity was on your property?
No.
Maybe you didn't. Nicole testified yesterday when she got out of the truck, she walked around the front of the truck to go into the building. You didn't see how she got from the passenger side of the truck to the building, did you?
Can you say that again?
Sure. You did not see how Nicole got from the passenger side of her vehicle to the building.
Correct.
You don't know one way or the other what route she took, correct?
I can tell you for a fact that she had to walk to the back of the truck.
You did not make that observation.
I did not see her physically, but she couldn't. The truck was up against the dumpster.
Well, she said she did. So can you help the jury understand how she says she did and you claim that she didn't?
Objection.
If you didn't see her.
Form of the question. Argument
Correct? It's an adverse party, so it's like cross-examination.
Argumentative. He's talking about what
I
someone
just-
else already said. He wants him to explain that. He doesn't like what he said.
It is
This
not-
is for the jury, not for evidence.
I think you could rephrase it.
Can you help the jury understand, if you did not see Nicole come into the building, how you know what path she took?
She had to walk to the rear of the truck because it would be physically impossible. The distance from the fender of the truck to the dumpster, she couldn't walk between that. You had to walk to the back of the truck.
Did you measure the distance between the front of the truck and the dumpster?
I tried when I came back out to the shop to see when she had fallen. You could not walk from the front of the truck to get to there.
My question is, did you measure the distance between the front of the truck?
No, I didn't.
Okay. Now, Roy Nagel, if you know, just bought this building in December of 2008. Correct?
If you say so.
Did you ever say to Mr. Nagel, hey, you know what, we're neighbors, and your downspout is causing water to form on your property and on my property and ice over and create a dangerous condition? Did you ever tell him that?
No.
And I believe you said you called the Highland government, whoever it is you called, because of a trailer that was encroaching on your property that was put there by Mr. Nagel, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Did someone from Highland come out?
Yeah, guys come up.
Okay. The day they came out, was the trailer moved?
It was moved a couple days after. We moved it for us.
When was it moved?
I believe a few days after. Sat there for about a week and then we moved it.
Mr. Nagel was never ordered to move that trailer, was he?
I don't know.
Thank you. But Mr. Nagel did move it.
He moved it.
And Mr. Nagel, according to what council's represented to everyone, got that building in December, right?
I guess he did.
And this fall happened on December 16th, correct?
Right.
Now, if you would take a look there at Exhibit 12 in the jury book, and Your Honor, if it's refer to the jury.
That's the lease agreement I'm looking at, correct?
Yes. And you see there that lease agreement
Okay.
dated December 1st of 08, correct?
Okay, yes.
Could you, at the risk of annoying everyone, please turn to the 22nd page of that lease? You see the signatures on that page.
Yes.
Are any of those yours?
No.
Are any of those your brother's?
No.
On the bottom right-hand corner, there's a thing that says initials. You see that there?
Yes.
Are those your initials?
No.
Are those your brother's?
No.
Now, if you would, and I won't ask you to turn any further, if you could now go to page 8 of that document. You see that there? That page?
The initials?
In the middle there, it says Article 7, Maintenance and Repairs. You see that?
Yes.
And at the bottom of there, there's a place for initials. You see that?
Yes.
Are any of those your initials?
No.
Are any of those your brother's initials?
No.
Further questions?
I have nothing.
Yeah.
Just this one.
Yeah.
We're going to add an additional exhibit to the plan I think it's both contained.
Is that the one that I didn't expect earlier?
You didn't object. It's just the front of
Yes.
the building.
I have no objection.
Okay. Do you have copies for the jury?
I do, just separating our
All right. Yes, you may approach the witness.
Sir, I'm going to show you.
Before you, where should the jury, where,
Yeah, if you could look at the very last page, or the very last page of the 16, which is a series schedule.
Session.
thank you.
So you've just been handed a photograph, and I asked you some questions earlier. Does that photograph help you describe what you were talking about earlier, the overhead door in front of the Royco building?
You can just barely see it.
You can just, okay, it's the one that's...
You see the nose of the trailer, you can see the door, just to the right of it.
Okay, and do you see little parking slots over in that area?
Yeah.
Okay, so does that describe the parking area for the Royco building that you were talking about earlier?
I don't know what Royco designates for their parking for their building.
But it's not on the side where...
No, it's not on the side.
Oh, I don't have any further.
Anything else? Now, we may see it. Ladies and gentlemen, now, once again, is your opportunity to ask any questions. Please write them down, place them in the basket, even if you don't have any questions.